Hello ladies and gents, I am Ika and this is the Europe campaign map mod overview. In this video I will discuss with you the pros and cons of the mod in its current state as of the making of this video, which is of course subject to change with future updates, and most importantly I will be telling you if it's worth your time and if you should go ahead and play it or not. Of course keep in mind this will be based on my experience and opinion, so it's completely fine if you disagree with me. Nothing wrong with that. It's important to note that, as stated by the mod developer, that this is more of a unique take on making a map of Europe and not an exact replica, so not everything will be a one-to-one replica from the real thing, so just keep that in mind. First off, the pros. The mod covers a huge area, including parts of North Africa, the United Kingdom, and of course Europe. It features the Asarai occupying Tunisia, Algeria and Morocco in North Africa, the Western Empire occupying Spain and Portugal, Valandia in France, and I assume Belgium, Eastern Empire scattered across Germany and Poland, while the Southern Empire is positioned in Italy. Then you have Khuzait scattered all over the eastern parts of Europe, Britannia is of course in the UK and Ireland, while Sturgia is in Norway, Denmark and Sweden. Safe to say that's a lot of grounds covered, and the developer has also hinted that in the future other parts will be added, such as Egypt and the Levant. Secondly, the map looks absolutely stunning no matter where you're positioned, with lots of vegetation, mountains, fountains, deserts and oases positioned carefully all across the map. That truly makes just staring at the map itself to be quite an enjoyable experience, with lots of mini scenes to discover all around the map. You also have choke points and mountains that enable strategy on the campaign map and does reward careful positioning compared to Caldradia, where it's mostly just an open space no matter where you are on the map. The third pro is that the mod adds a new naval travel system to the game, where you're able to buy ships and sail on them from one port to another in different cities, with different types of ships, each with its own unique set of pros and cons, from crew allowed to carry capacity and sea speed. You also get to name every ship if you so desire and choose a flagship, so that's neat I guess. However, do keep in mind that this is only a travel mechanic, so there is no naval combat with ships or anything like that. If you try to attack another ship with your own fleet, you'll simply be put on a normal ground map and fight it out as usual. Okay, so now let's go for the bad parts, the cons. One of the things I hate the most is when the AI doesn't play by the same rules as the player, and unfortunately this is the case when it comes to AI using naval travel. Apparently every peasant and their moms got a ship at every port and every ferry point that exists on the map, compared to you, the player, who can only have one fleet docked at a certain port or ferry point. This results in all sorts of AI parties, ranging from looters that can simply run away from you while you're chasing them to the nearest port and setting sail, where you don't have a fleet and they just run away, to all the way to massive faction armies that have tons of ships at everything and everywhere and every port and every ferry point that they can use to literally outmaneuver you on the map, and even dock. They can even dock at hostile cities and they lay siege to them, while you, the player, can't enter a hostile port and do the same. So that's it could be like nitpicking, but I do believe this is a con in my book. I mean, come on, think of it this way, like a 3,000 man army, okay, goes from a ferry point, gets a massive navy all of a sudden, goes to like Santiago and then literally docks its port there at a hostile city, goes through the city at a hostile city, goes up to the gate, and then decides, like, they go out to the gate and then decide to start the siege, and then they besiege the settlement. That doesn't make sense. The second con is that the AI parties and even the player sometimes, as you will see in the video, do tend to get stuck at specific locations, and the one I noticed the most is when besieging the town of Santiago. So when you're besieging Santiago, the camp spawns a bit further to the back, to like south of Santiago, and then you get kinda stuck in the mountains. After the siege is done, the entire army kinda gets buggy and they simply can't move. However, I did work around this by reloading the save, and the army just teleports to an entire different location in Europe, which is not a great solution, but at least they do get unstuck one way or another. Another con, which is rather small, is that AI parties sometimes go into the settlement area on the map in order to go to the port and sail, which prevents the player from even being able to attack them because the settlement, like Click Umbrella, is covering their party, which is quite frustrating, as you'll see in the video. It's frustrating when an enemy lord is basically staying in the middle of a city on the map and you can't do anything about him because you literally can't even click on him, because if you click on him you'll be clicking on the town and you'll go into the town instead of actually attacking the lord. So, should you play the European campaign map? Definitely yes. It's a really high quality mod with love and care clearly put into making it. The scenery is beautiful to explore and the naval travel is neat to mess around with. The ability to play in Europe instead of Calradia is quite fun, and if you're like me and got bored of Calradia and find it to be so mundane, then you'll definitely enjoy this mod. It's also quite optimized and is able to handle a complete playthrough. I myself have played this mod with over 20 or so other mods on 1.8.1 and even up to 1.8.2 on a single playthrough that has so far 2000 days and still counting, with minimal crashes that are not even related to this specific mod for the crashes. So it's definitely an option if you're going for a serious playthrough. The economy is also perfectly stable, even with the new map and different locations for the settlements after years in game. So no worries there either. So this is pretty much it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this overview as much as I had fun making it. And please feel free to ask me anything in the comments, or if you would like, provide ideas for future videos or other mods that you would like me to overview. And yeah, see you next time, and please have a great day.